As a cold climate gardener, I have watched the weather and its effect on my garden for the past 40 years. For the last several years, I have collected precipitation data for COCRAS, the Community Collaborative Rain, Hail and Snow Network. So when SainLogic contacted me to review their wireless outdoor weather station model 0835, it was a natural fit. This video gives that review. Make sure you watch to the end and I'll give you a couple of good garden hacks using their 5-in-1 weather station. Hello, this is Stephen from ShortSeasonGarden.com, and I offer tips and tricks for gardening in any climate, but especially for short seasons like here in Eastern Canada. So subscribe to my channel, give my video a thumbs up and a comment, or you can check me out on social media on Instagram or Facebook at Short Season Garden. So as mentioned in the intro, this video is sponsored by SainLogic, who asked me to review their weather station. You can find links to this weather station as well as other products on Amazon that we use and enjoy in the video description below. So let's unbox it and see what we've got. Alright, so we open up the box. This is the inside unit, I would say. And there's a warranty registration card. This is what's going to connect it to the pole. This is our power supply. With the inside unit, you can use the battery or you can plug it in. And this is our external unit. Alright, so I would say this is where the water collection is for the rain gauge. This obviously measures the wind speed. And this, I would say, measures your wind direction. Alright. And we've got something here to fasten it. Each side when we set it up. And the screws to install it. So that's what's in the box. And we've got some instructions here. Simple for setting it up. And if you want more detailed instructions, there's a full user manual with lots of detailed instructions. So the instructions say to install the batteries for the outdoor sensor. So this is the outdoor sensor here. And they recommend lithium batteries, especially if you're going to be in the cold weather. So I've got some lithium batteries here. And there's a little set screw here on the bottom. And it takes 3 batteries. It's very important not to get them backwards and destroy the unit. So it's pretty obvious the negative goes where the spring is. And we'll put the cover back on. Now the indoor console has a place for 3 AAA batteries, but they should be used only as a backup. It says on the back of the unit, always use power adapter with the console. And it also says power up the outdoor sensor before powering up the console, which we've done that. We put the batteries in the outdoor unit and we've moved it away from here because it should be at least 10 feet away from the indoor console. So we're going to use the power adapter for the indoor console. Now you can see that you can hang it on the wall, or you can open up this little bracket and put it on your table. So the adapter plugs in right in behind this little stand, and we've got some power. It's beeping. Now the instructions also say that we should not press any of the buttons until we've got signal from our outdoor sensor. And it takes about 3 seconds to power up, and then about once every 16 seconds it gets a signal. So we'll just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so I've got my indoor unit still over where it was. My outdoor unit is over away from the indoor unit. Now I've got it set on this little stand, and of course there's a screw hole right here. If you can see, I haven't got that screwed in yet, and also we need to screw in the bottom. And also neglected to mention that there's a solar panel here, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got a south indicator that needs to be pointed toward the south, and also gives you the right direction for you. It gives you maximum solar power, plus it gives you the right direction for your wind indicator, especially if we're in the northern hemisphere. Now, as I said before, this indicates the wind speed, and this is going to be our wind direction. Now, this is our water collector for our rain gauge. Now, if I tip it, you can hear that clicking. That measures the rainfall. Obviously, I'm in winter right now, so the rain gauge isn't going to work for me. But you'll notice as if I do this long enough, the indicator on my indoor unit is going to show that there's rainfall. All right, so just for fun, we're going to plug in a fan here and turn on the fan, and we'll see if we can get some wind going. So if you watch my indoor indicator, it's going to show, I'm not standing in front of it there, but I've got a camera on it. It's going to show some wind and some gusts. It's going to take a few seconds because it only indicates about once every 16 seconds. And I'm going to move my fan around, and the wind direction is going to change. So it's pretty neat. You've got your wind speed, you've got your wind gusts, and you've got your wind direction. So we can tell that the unit is actually working. So let's just check and see if the rain gauge actually measures. Sorry to tell the clicking because of the water dripping in my sink, but if you watch the numbers on the dial, it's increasing. So just before we take the unit outdoors, let's secure these screws top and bottom. For now, we are just going to set the unit up temporarily outside. You want a permanent home that is not too close to wind obstructions or artificial heat sources, while keeping in mind that the rain gauge needs cleaned yearly and the batteries need changed every 2 years. Using our compass as a guide, we turn the unit until the solar panel is facing toward the south. Now that we've played with the station, let's get it set up. So it's pretty straightforward. You've got 3 buttons on the top. I'm not sure if there's in focus here. You got the min-max, you got a snooze light and channel, and on the side you've got set and you've got alarm. So if we hold the set buttons for 3 seconds, it starts to flash, and we have the option of setting it to 12-hour time or 24-hour. So we can just toggle back and forth between the 12 and the 24, and I'm going to leave it at 12. We press set again, and that sets our hour. Now anytime we want to get back out, we can just hit the snooze light and it takes us back out. But the other thing I might mention is this beep on the side, and when you press the set button, it's a bit annoying. So if you hold the alarm button for 3 seconds, it stops that. So now I can press the button and there's no beep. The only problem is the alarm won't sound either if you have your alarm set. All right, so let's get back out and start over. So we press the set button for 3 seconds, And it's a 12-hour time. We want to leave that. Okay, I've set again. And it's actually 9:58 p.m. So I'll go ahead. That's p.m. now, 10. All right, set. And if we hold it down, it will let us go faster. All right, set again. Gives us a month and the day, or we can go the day and the month. So we want to stay with the month and the day. And it's all right. So set again. And it puts us to February, set, and we're the 17th today. Okay, set at 2020, we're 2024. Okay, so this on off is for the min-max reset. If you leave that on, it resets at midnight. If you turn it off, then you have to manually reset the min-max. I'm going to leave it on for now. All right, it's in degrees Fahrenheit. I live in Canada, so I prefer degrees Celsius. Okay, our wind speed is in miles per hour. And I'm going to change that. You have the option of miles per hour, knots, BFT, I'm not sure what that means, meters per second, or kilometers per hour. Set again, and our rainfall is in inches. I'm going to change that to millimeters. Okay, this is the barometric pressure. It's in inches of mercury. You can change it to millimeters of mercury, or I believe that's pascals. All right, and I'm going to leave it at inches of mercury. Okay, this is the sensitivity of the barometric pressure. And then this, you can change if you don't agree with what it says the weather is outside. You can actually even change that. So I'll go back through. And we're going to leave it on what it was. Okay, and this is if you're in the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere. And now everything is set. So it's 7:25 Sunday a.m. and I want to know what happened during the night. So I press this min-max button, and it shows me that during the night the maximum wind gusts were 24.8 kilometers per hour. The average was 18.4. The atmospheric pressure, the highest was 28.83 inches of mercury. The maximum outside temperature was negative 8.8 degrees Celsius with 87% relative humidity. Inside, the highest was 22.3 degrees Celsius with 24% relative humidity. Press it again. Oops, I held it too long. After 30 seconds, it goes back to solicit it again, get max, hit it twice, get some in. So 28.72 is the minimum atmospheric pressure outside. Minimum temperature was a negative 18.6 degrees Celsius. It was a cool night. 76% relative humidity. Inside, you get down to 21.3 degrees Celsius with 16% relative humidity. Press it again and it goes back to the normal setting. This video is getting long, so I won't go into details about alarm setting, but suffice it to say that you can set alarms for wind speed, rainfall, high and low temperatures, humidity, pressure, dew point, etc., as well as an alarm to wake you up in the morning. I do want to show you two quick gardening hacks before we go. The unit has a quick display that allows you to display the information that is most important to you. Now, every gardener in my climate is worried about two things: adequate watering and frost protection. If I press the set button twice, the rain setting starts flashing. You can see it's currently set to the rain in the past hour, but I can change that to the last 24 hours, the last week, the last month, or a total. Every good gardener knows that most plants need an inch of water per week, or about 25 millimeters. So if I set my rainfall to weekly, then I know if my garden needs watered. Now if I press set 2 more times, the minimum temperature starts flashing, and I can change that as well to the dew point. Now I can't really show this on the console in the middle of a Canadian winter, and I don't want to get too geeky, but if the temperature is close to freezing and the dew point drops well below freezing, chances are the temperature is going to drop in the night. So when there's a risk of frost, watch the dew point, set your alarms, and be prepared to artificially raise the dew point with irrigation, or else cover your plants. That about covers the weather station. Don't forget to check the description below for ordering details. Feel free to click the like button or leave a comment, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out my other videos, and we'll see you in the next one.